boss in the streets, I'm a boss with the sauce. I'm a boss and a beast, I'm a boss till I fall. I'm a boss on the beat, I'm a boss, spit it raw. I'm a boss, keep it G, and I'm walking the talk.
All right, so we are here just having some real estate conversation, and we were just going to talk about a hot topic that people talk about all the time, which is what does it look like to make like a lateral real estate move, or upsize or downsize? Because you know, a lot of people are kind of in those mortgages that are in the 2s and 3s, and they're scared to sell because they don't want to lose that low interest rate,
right?
And they don't know how that will impact them on purchasing a new house. So,
right.
You know, what have you been seeing when it comes to that?
I think from a lender's point of view, it's kind of like, you know, is the interest rate really working for you? Is that house even really working for you, right? So you could be at a low interest rate, but you've outgrown the house. You're in a low interest rate and you need a smaller house. So 2 options. You know, our favorite would be keeping it in your portfolio and renting it out. You can still have your rate and buying another house. But the most popular one would be taking the equity, you know, selling that house. And depending on where you are when you bought your home, right, you know, you have a lot of equity. A lot of people have a lot of equity in their home, and they really, right, to be honest, don't even know what equity is, right, and what you can do with it. And taking that lump sum and buying a different house that does work for you. Yes, your interest rate is going to be a little bit higher, but you're putting down a lump sum.
Right. And we've actually done that a few times.
Yeah.
Actually, over the last few years, you know, we moved a couple of times. And how it works is, you know, we might make $200,000 on one house, and we might buy up. So the new house might cost a little bit more, yeah, but we're taking the proceeds from that previous house and putting that down on the next house, right, which kind of offsets. So if we're going from a $500,000 house to a $700,000 house, we don't have a $700,000 payment.
Right. So your payment is kind of the same.
Right.
Really, because you know, when you bought it and what that interest rate is then, and then what it is to now. But when you bought your house a while ago, probably didn't put $200,000-$300,000 down. Right. You put the minimum down. So now you're putting a bunch of money into it, where your payment is the same when you have a bigger house. I mean, right, it's worked for us, and I don't think a lot of people really can fathom or do the math on how that really works, and it's really great.
Right. So you're, in essence, you are buying up, but you're not financing that total amount. So
your payment's not going up.
Right. So basically, I call that a transfer of wealth, really. Yeah. So you just transfer in the equity that you built over into your new property, which will kind of help offset what you have in your mind that payment would be by buying a house that costs $200,000 more than.
Right.
Do you have any like scenarios or anything like that?
Yeah, I mean, I actually had one last year where they had bought, they owned their home for a super long time, and they were buying $1 million house. But when I did the math and I ran the numbers, and then let me back up a little bit. A lot of people think, oh, I already own a home. I don't know if I can buy another one. Well, right, we can do something called like a simultaneous close, right? You're selling one house, and you're buying and you're closing at the same time. So it's an easy transition. But when we did that and they bought that $1 million house, their payment didn't even go up a lot because they had so much equity in their home, right? And then, yes, you can use that for your down payment, but if you get creative, right, with your financing, you can also use some of that money to buy down the interest rate.
So you're saying with the proceeds, you don't necessarily have to put it all towards the purchase price.
Right. It's all about, okay, what's going to work? If I buy this bigger house, tell me what I need to put down out of this, what my net proceeds are going to be. And that's kind of where I figure out, like, okay, if we put this down, this is what your new payment's going to be, and it's pretty similar. And then you might end up still having money in the bank, pay off debt. Maybe the house you bought needs a little fixing up.
Or buy an investment property.
But there you go.
Yeah.
Yeah. So many options.
Yeah.
There's just a lot of options out there.
So at the end of the day, it doesn't cost anything to talk to a real estate and a mortgage professional about what the options are. So the good thing is, if you own a home, you got equity, you got options. You know, if you're a tenant, you don't have any options, but if you're a homeowner, you got options. So
and it's about being creative too.
Right.
Being creative with what works with your lifestyle and your situation. There's so many different loans out there. It's not just, they don't all just fit in one box, you know? So especially if you have the equity, tons of things you could do.
Right.
Yeah.
Good info.
That was great.